Welcome back, watch fans. Today we're discussing making money with the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. That's right, the Royal Oak. We got the brand new release of the AP Perpetual calendar. That's right, the Perpetual calendar Royal Oak, which is an upgrade of this watch. This is only a day-date moon phase. Day-date moon phase. The other one gives you the whole thing, perpetual, right? Okay, now the big upgrade is you can make all the adjustments through the crown instead of having the little pusher bar. The little pusher is a little tool you need. Like, for example, the Colonel has got the Patek 3940, and I got to tell you something. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to adjust. If the watch has been sitting and you got to adjust the day, the time, the moon phase, the date, all that month. It's a problem. Yeah, by the way, yeah. So what this watch is missing is the month, as you can see. So here is the one issue I have with the Royal Oak that they have right now. If you notice on this watch right here, it's the petite tapisserie. This is the original old school Royal Oak. And this is like late 90s. As you've heard in these previous videos, the Royal Oak really got much better circa 2005 when they switched to that newer tapisserie design, the brighter dials, and the kind of slightly bigger tapisserie, right? Maybe the grand tapisserie, whatever you want to call it, right? The little we're talking about the little boxes over there, right? I prefer the bigger boxes, frankly, but here is the issue. Here is the issue that I have when it comes to the Perpetual calendar. You see how much stuff is on that doll right now? Now, if you add a month, if you add a month feature, okay, which goes up top or wherever it goes, right? All of a sudden, now the doll becomes much busier. But wait, it gets worse. The problem with the new Perpetual calendars. I got two issues with them, and I'm a little bit concerned about the upside potential, but I'll tell you what the problems are. Now, guys, in case you don't know, again, this channel, our whole goal is to get on the ground floor of watches that have upside potential. We're looking to make, again, 2 to 3 times their money over the next 2 to 5 years. That's the goal of this channel, to wear and enjoy your watch and also have an increase in value, okay? Money on the wrist. That's what this channel is all about. We're not here to talk about, movements and blah, blah, blah. There's no blah, blah, blah here, okay? This is not the blah, blah, blah channel. This is the money-making channel. So make sure you click the like, subscribe button to become a member, or if you want to become an aristocrat and get access to our top secret content. We're talking about all the Illuminati content. And you're also going to be a baron. That's right. That's going to be your official title on this channel. When you join, you become your official title is baron. That's right. Imagine you a baron. Unbelievable but true. You're going to be a genuine aristocrat, right? I mean, where else can you get that for $4.95 a month? And we're not talking about $495. We're only talking about $5 a month. That's less than the price of a cup of coffee most of you mooch bums are drinking with your spice pumpkins and spice latte and whatever. Here's the thing. This channel, again, we'll focus on making money, and the issue I have with the new Royal Oaks is this. Again, if you put more information on the dial, it's going to get harder to read. But the real problem I have is I love the new tapisserie designs that they have. Again, starting around 2005, when they go to the grand tapisserie, right? The problem is when you have subdials and the grand tapisserie, it becomes very busy. It's a little bit like my issue with meteorite dials, okay? With a meteorite dial, I want to enjoy the meteorite. I'm looking at the dial, right? So I want to look at and enjoy the big slice of meteorite. That's why I like the day-date Rolex meteorite. Sorry, we're talking about the Rolex day-date, the President meteorite, and not the Daytona or the Submariner. Why? Because on those watches, either you got subdials that take up the meteorite real estate, or you have those big loom plots that take up the meteorite real estate. Okay, look, when you have a beautiful dial, and I got to tell you something, I hate the people at Audemars Piguet, but the new dials, again post 2005 Grand Tapisserie, they're beautiful dials, and those dials need to be enjoyed. And the issue is when you clutter up too many sub dials, it takes away from the experience. Also makes it harder to read. Now, we featured a watch a while back here, which was a dual time, circa 2005, yellow gold, beautiful white, silvery white dial with a Grand Tapisserie. Now that watch, you can get away with having, the Grand Tapisserie, and because it only had like really two pieces of information that take away from the tapisserie. You had like a day. It was okay. But when you go beyond that, it gets difficult. Okay. Now, frankly, I think one of the best expressions of the Royal Oak with the Grand Tapisserie is the tourbillon. The tourbillon that's just time only, and they got a giant tourbillon at the bottom where I got my moon phase. I think it's a beautiful watch, but it's totally useless. Again, tourbillon. Who needs a tourbillon? I mean, it's just basically eye candy. That's all it is. But okay, so here comes my issue with the new Perpetual calendar. So again, if we're talking Royal Oak Perpetual calendars, you want to go the early generations. If you want to have upside potential, those are a limited production. Again, a limited production, and more or less a manageable size. When you get to the modern Royal Oak Perpetual calendar, they become quite big. Okay, 41 millimeter, so it wears huge. Okay, this is a 36 millimeter. Okay, so I can, it's fine. It wears like a 38 or whatever, but when you go to that 41, it becomes a very big watch. And again, the trend is going away from the big watches. The other issue I have with the new Perpetual calendar is that, frankly, it is, again, the dial is just too busy. It's too busy. You got multiple things going on there. I love the complication. I mean, I love Perpetual calendar. I love the fact that they have another hand just to track the week. The weeks, like, is it 30th week, 50th week, whatever it is, which I think is great. But the problem, you're making a compromise. The other issue I have with it for upside potential, again, it's a mass market watch. It's mass market luxury. It's 100 G's, I think 109 or whatever it is. It's probably going to have a small premium on the market. Now again, the being able to change the adjusting the month and the day, all that stuff, just through the crown without pushers, I think, I don't want to use the word game changer, because listen, I think other people do it, but it is very, very useful. But I have an issue just with the design of the watch. I think it's getting a little bit tired. I think the new Royal Oaks are just my sense of it is, again, I have a really good sense for where the trends are heading, and I think the market's getting tired of Royal Oak in terms of the modern ones. Okay, I think if you have pre 2000, let's call it pre 2010. I think you're okay if you're going to that neo vintage. We're talking about 90s to up to 2010. You're going to be okay, and I think we could see long-term appreciation there. It's probably going to be a little bit slower than, for example, some other things we've talked about, like the Ellipse or 3940. Those things are exploding. I think the Royal Oak, if we're talking about Royal Oaks, those are going to they will appreciate at a steady pace. I think that you'll probably get 5 to 10% a year. The stuff is bottomed out. I think the Royal Oak market is more or less bottomed out. If we're talking about neo vintage, the neo vintage stuff is bottomed out or bottoming out. The new models, I don't have confidence. I think the issue is It's going to have, I think with new Royal Oaks, they just have that coronavirus era thing going on, which you want to be careful. So what do I mean by that? I mean that there's a lot of newbies, a lot of window lickers got into the watch game, so to speak, as the kids call it, the watch game. A lot of the newbies got into the watch game in the Corona era, and that's going to have a stigma on watches associated with that era. So we're talking about the Rolex Day-Date 40s, Rolex Day-Date 40s and rose gold with the green dial. Great watch. I think it's going to be seen, a couple of years from now as a bit of a Corona era watch. Also, one of my favorites. That's the Meteorite. I think that one is going to take a hit as a Corona era watch, and a couple of other things. So again, you know how it is. People want something new. They have, and I think anything associated with that Corona era is going to have it's going to have a bit of a dampener on prices, because again, you don't want to listen, if you're like, let's say you're I don't want to say the word sophisticated watch collector, or if you're a serious watch collector, right? Like you're serious about this, right? You don't want to be associated with stuff that's newbie material. It's just the way it is in anything, right? You don't want to be associated with stuff that's people look at it as peasant type of vibes, right? And I think those all the Royal Oaks, all the hype, the Royal Oak hype, all that stuff, all the Nautilus. I'm talking about Nautilus also. Nautilus, I believe, also is in danger. Those are going to take a hit. It's not going to be, it's not going to go to zero, but we're going to see some. I think there's definitely significant risk to the downside. So, again, you want to kind of stay away from new stuff. Again, I'm nothing against any new modern watches. Nothing against it at all. I'm agnostic. I'm only looking at it in terms of upside potential and the investment perspective. And I don't see that with the new Perpetual calendar. I'm talking, mechanically speaking, it's amazing. Okay, great, awesome. The code 1159 that they have is, again, it's going to be a dog. It's going to be a dog with fleas. Is it better than the previous generation? I guess, I don't know. It's a great movement. Again, I don't know how reliable. I'm not commenting on that. I'm just commenting on, I love Perpetuals, and I love the idea of making the adjustments without having to use a tool. That is a big positive as far as I'm concerned, right? But you're talking about essentially the code watches. Dog with fleas. Don't get fleas. Don't let these guys steal your children's lunchbox money. That's right. Just like Juan and Kino are stealing the lunchbox money. You don't want that, right? This channel is all about going up, right? Increase stuff that increases in value, and that is what this is all about, right? We don't have we're not here to. Let me see here. Here we go. Get a shot of that. Okay. That's what this is all about, my friends. So leave your nasty, vicious comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.